Kansas City's offensive weapons or Bill Belichick's defensive mind. And I'm gonna say Bill Belichick's defensive mind, just because he's just done it so many times. I go back to, and I know it was a high-scoring Super Bowl, but they faced Atlanta in the Super Bowl with all those weapons, and Bill Belichick figured out a way, particularly in the second half and the fourth quarter, to get them stopped and for New England to rally and win that game. Look, man, the guy's got 5 Super Bowls. He's coached in 8 Super Bowls. Bill Belichick versus anybody, he always scares me more than anything else.
Man, I am going to say, for clarity, I am saying the KC weapons. However, the definition of intimidating is to make timid or fearful, and I'm scared of Belichick, and I'm scared of that mind. That sucker, one playoff series came out in a 2-5 defense. I remember it. Like, I was like, a 2 down linemen, 5 linebackers, we're going to figure this thing out. And I remember when Doug Flutie was rolling with us, and no one could figure out Doug Flutie. Everyone thought he had his slights and his height issues and stuff, but he was just balling, Pro Bowl year, balling out of control. And we faced the Jets the second time, and he was the defensive coordinator, Bill Belichick. He even said it, basically. We were looking, and we were like, it's like, we're just going to blitz from the outside, keep him contained, and let's see what he does there. Inside that pocket, see if he can get those passing lanes. And he couldn't. And we were like, damn it. He figured it out. The Rubik's Cube, he always figures it out. But for clarity, I'll go back to my original statement. KC's offensive weapons, they're going to thrive. Belichick's going to slow them down. He's going to minimize them, but they're still going to be too much, and they're going to be victorious.
I just look at KC in general. If you take the playoff teams that are currently established with New Orleans and with KC and with the Rams and obviously with New England, I can make a compelling argument. They have the 3 greatest weapons in all the playoffs right now: Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and Patrick Mahomes. And I will tell you, talking to defensive coordinators as I travel around doing games, they say, I have had several coordinators say, you watch him on film, Tyreek Hill, you watch him on film and you think he's fast and he's incredible. He goes, when he is on the field, I had one defensive coordinator say, the fastest player on the field that I have ever witnessed, ever. And it reminds me back in the day when you talk to guys who tried to cover Randy Moss. Yeah. And they'd all say the same thing. On film, he was so smooth. You'd say, oh, yeah, I can run with Randy. I can run with Randy. And then you get on the field and he just run by you and look like he gave no effort. They have great weapons. Now, that said, Bill Belichick will devise a plan to take one away. And I think he'll rotate through which one he's going to take away dependent upon situations. Maybe it's Kelce down in the red zone in the seams. Maybe it's Tyreek Hill in the field. But the bottom line is you can't take them all away. And Patrick Mahomes is that X factor once he breaks out. I mean, what do you want me to throw it left-handed? What do you want me underhanded, overhanded, around somebody's body? I mean, they are freak shows, man.
Yeah, that's true. Well, from my experience, I have to go with the players, the weapons, with the Kansas City Chiefs, just because, man, players always beat scheme. You can have a great scheme, but if you got some great weapons around, players always beat scheme, and we can flip it. With Tom Brady and can he handle Bob Sutton's defense and his scheme at Arrowhead? Mm-hmm. He probably can. So at the same time, I will go with Tom Brady. Just trying to, because players beat scheme at the end of the day, man.
Great players
beat.
DJ.
You're talking about Bill Belichick. You're talking about Bill Belichick. He's watching at home. You just put Bob Sutton in the same category as Bill Belichick.
No, I didn't. I didn't. No, but at the same time, I'm just telling you, it's one thing to have a scheme, and you're saying, hey, this is the perfect scheme. This is what we're going to do. And then Tyreek Hill gets out there, and his over route is a lot faster than what you saw on film.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's just like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It goes back to one of those stories of folklore. Deion Sanders ran back a kick one time, and they're sitting there next day, special teams meeting, and they're saying, hey, man, coach got the red dot on everybody. Run harder. Cut them off. Get the right angles. Geometry. And like, coach, we out there running. He got a car or something. Like, he in a vehicle. Like, there's no catching. And you're right. Yeah. You do not prepare for that. We try all the time. Grab the fastest backup receiver. Mm-hmm. Make him be Tyreek Hill. Okay. Yeah. His name is not Tyreek Hill, coach. And when you get out there, I think what you're saying is it's going to be a tremendous scheme. But there is a way to be superior to that scheme, which is execution with that talent.
All right, exactly DJ, right. What about this, though? And I hope you're right. But the second time around for Belichick, seeing these guys this year, that, to me, makes it even more intimidating. You give Bill Belichick a second bite at the apple?
Well, I think this is two different defenses now. You're talking about an away defense, what he played at the early other year. Kansas City defense was an away team because they were at the Patriots. Yeah. Now we're talking about a Kansas City really good top 10 defense at home. Sure. Different kind of defense now. Not saying that they will stop everything Tom Brady throws at them, but this is going to be a different game. I mean, but Belichick's going to have his deal because they thrived on him. Patrick Mahomes did a great job. I mean, he came back. They were about to be out of it, about to get blown out, and Patrick Mahomes came back in New England. Now you have him at home in the cold. It's going to be interesting.
When you watch Kansas City, and I got to give Andy Reid a ton of credit because they do a great job from a deceptive standpoint, their creation of deceptives. And one of the things that they're amazing at is they'll give you the same formation with the same kind of ghost motion or jet motion, and they'll jet motion with the formation, they'll run dive. Then they'll jet motion with that same formation, they'll throw a screen to the jet guy. Then they'll jet motion, they'll throw a screen opposite the jet guy. Then, I mean, and what ends up happening is you get 5 distinctly different plays that all look identical from the start with the motion, and you really only change 2 guys' responsibilities. And that's what makes him, like, you want to talk about nuanced offense. What makes nuanced offense or the evolution of offense great is when your play action stuff lines up identically to what you run in your run game. And that's where Andy Reid's, I hate using genius in football because I think they're mutually exclusive events, but that's where his genius comes out. Everything looks identical. And it gets you as a defender, you've been on your heels because you're like guessing.
And you know the biggest part of that swing guy, that decoy guy, is Tyreek Hill. So he's going to get a lot of attention. So when he's flaring out, it's not like, oh, let's just let him flare out. Let's get back into coverage and do our deal. It's Tyreek Hill. So the whole defense kind of shifts over there. So he opens up the world for everything.
And Andy Reid plays to what the defense is taught because you're taught to read your keys, trust your eyes. But they changed the locks. You're like, this is the same exact key. You put it in, one time it works, next time it doesn't. Because you're saying, hey, guard goes down, this is my read.
Yes.
And then next time, you know, you shouldn't have done that. You actually got to do something different. And it's so complex.
Think about you're outside linebacker, you're a curl flat defender, right? And all of a sudden Tyreek Hill's out there. How much curl are you getting? How much depth on your curl are you getting? Not much, right? No. You're supposed to be 12 yards deep. Right. You're like, I got to get out here right now. And then that hole that you just left is a 22-foot hole where you're just like, yeah.